Hey, Shawna K, femalephallus over40.com. I'm here in Vegas with my good friend John Romaniello. And John, tell us a little bit about yourself first.
I'm a trainer. I've been a trainer in New York City for a number of years now. I've been running a personal training business and coaching business for people of all types, from moms over 40 to dads, high school and collegiate athletes, all the way up to pro athletes. And a big part of my business for the past 5 or 6 years has been working with models and actors, so kind of higher level clients who really need to look their best.
Yeah. Well, my clients, a lot of my clients are women, and particularly women over 40. And what can you tell women over 40 that just say, I can't lose weight?
For people over 40, not just women, but people in general, one of the challenges you're facing is the ever-changing hormonal environment. So for women in particular, really what you're doing is looking at the approach of menopause. And what begins to happen is that as we age, certain hormones go down, for example, growth hormone production, and then other things start to go up. So women really start to see some pretty significant changes in the balance between estrogen and testosterone. And the way this affects us is where we store fat. So, for example, if you just look at where a woman stores fat versus where a man stores fat, women tend to store fat in the lower body, right?
Yeah.
The reason for that is because estrogen-related fat storage is all in the lower body. So you don't see a lot of guys holding fat in their hips and thighs, for example. So that's just one of the things. And as you get older, obviously, become less active in general. So all of the pre-existing hormonal conditions actually sort of begin to get exacerbated as we age. So one of the things that we can do to offset that is simply undergo specific types of hormonal training to offset that. So if your estrogen levels are higher than they have been, now especially as you approach menopause, once you get over 40, what we want to do is offset that with increasing testosterone. We want to do that naturally. A lot of my clients actually have recently been telling me that they're going on testosterone replacement creams, and it's helping them lose weight. Now that's one way to go, but obviously what you should always try to do before you look at medication is to address things through both diet and exercise. So we can increase testosterone naturally simply by doing density-based training, which has been shown to increase testosterone levels, which will help offset the estrogen and help you battle the lower body fat storage. So even for women over 40 who are having a lot of trouble losing fat, it's a really simple way, just a small tweak to make your training, hard training, but a simple tweak that you can really start to see a lot of changes. And you can apply it to any exercise that you do.
I think the big thing my clients are going to say is, hey, weight, testosterone, muscle, you look great, John, but I don't want to look like you.
Absolutely.
That's
okay.
the first thing they're going to say.
That's the first thing women say to me. I don't want to look like you. I wish they'd said something else.
I'll look great standing beside you, but I don't want to look like you.
So the main thing to understand is that we're talking about natural production, increasing hormones naturally, and there's nothing that we could do in the gym or through diet that would take us into what we call supra-physiological levels that would be higher than we could naturally achieve. Okay, so you're only going to go increasing slightly, but even something, a 1% increase, a 2% increase, while it's not going to affect you in the sense that you'll develop larger muscles, it's certainly, you won't look like me, you're not going to grow body hair or anything like that. It's enough so that you might see some cool side effects like increased sex drive, increased energy, but more than anything else, what you're going to see immediately is increased rate of fat loss, increased strength without increased muscle, and more importantly, fighting some of the lower body fat storage that's due to estrogen.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that when we talk about these things, when we talk about hormones, your body has a lot of homeostatic processes and something called regulatory feedback. It doesn't allow itself to get too far out of whack naturally. So because we're not going to be doing anything like taking any hormones or drugs or anything like that, you'll be able to just increase just a little bit, and we're looking at the minimum effective dose. Just a little bit can go a long way, so don't be afraid.
Well, and I'm always talking about adding, talking about muscle tone and the need for muscle, and how in our 30s we've replaced, our weight, if we're lucky, has stayed the same, but we've recompositioned so that we're fatter, less, carry less muscle. So we need to increase that muscle tone to increase our metabolism, to help with, and so you're just going a little bit further into the hormonal balance of that.
Right.
And you've got a program that
Yes.
addresses that. Can you tell us just a little
Sure.
bit about that? And we'll have a link down below.
Oh, I appreciate that. Okay,
Yeah.
so the program is called Final Phase Fat Loss, and it's really based on exactly what I just told you. So it's going to talk about a number of different hormones. We're going to talk about the relationship between them, so estrogen and testosterone. A hormone you might have heard about is cortisol, and that actually facilitates the storage of lower belly fat. So we can offset cortisol with growth hormone, and increasing growth hormone has a number of other benefits, including, again, increased energy, increased sleep, increased vitality, lengthens your life. So a lot of really cool stuff in there. So they're hard workouts. It's 4 workouts per week, each one a different style, focusing on a different hormone. But in the end, people lose a lot of fat very quickly, not only because they're doing great fat burning workouts, but workouts that in and of themselves are also going to have a hormonal component that will help them lose fat down the road.
Awesome. Well, thanks, John, for sharing
It's
with
my
us.
pleasure.
We look forward to hearing more from you. And if you're interested in John's program, we're going to have some more information below the video.
Excellent.
Thanks, John.
Thank you so much. Take care, guys.
One more question, John. You had mentioned that women tend to store lower body fat with because we have estrogen, but women in their 40s or approaching menopause, we have a lower level of estrogen,
Right.
and so we're storing belly fat. Can you kind of explain that a
Sure.
little bit more?
Well, what happens is as women age and they approach menopause, you'll see estrogen levels drop. So you're not going to see a really impressive increase in the amount of lower body fat storage. What you see instead is that cortisol levels go up, and so you see that increase in belly fat.
Yeah.
So that's what's great about Final Phase Fat Loss, because it also has a component which addresses cortisol through growth hormone. So cortisol is a catabolic agent, so it eats away at both fat but mostly muscle tissue, and it's what has been called a stress hormone. So there's a lot of negative things that happen when cortisol levels go high, increase in belly fat, which has been correlated with an increase of various types of cancer. So that's important to consider as well. So really what we're going to see with women is they're going to start to mitigate both types of fat storage, because both types of training are addressed within the context of that single program.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that because lots of my
That's a good question. That's
readers
great.
are going to be saying, hey, yeah, I'm not gaining my hips anymore. It's all falling on top of my pants.
Right, yeah.
And so just wanted to address that because the Final Phase Fat Loss is going to address the lower body, the
Belly, the love
belly.
handles,
Yeah.
which are all about insulin. So check
Yeah.
out the program, and when you guys read the book, what you're going to see is that muffin tops are really have a lot to do with insulin management, and that's
Right.
pretty important.
Yeah.
So it's good stuff.
Great. Thanks,
Great.
John.
Excellent. Thanks, guys.